Luz Noceda is a lovable but unique girl whose mother forced her to go to reality check camp. But instead of doing that, she walked through a random door and ended up in the Boiling Isles, where she meets Ida Clawthorne, King, and Hooty. She has to be an apprentice for Ida to learn how to be a witch, and Ida agrees, but Luz ends up being dissatisfied with that and tries to learn magic in Hexside School of Magic and Demonics, in which she met Willow, Gus, and Amity. Luz eventually does convince Ida to teach her some magic, but just before she falls asleep and turns into the Owl Beast. As it turns out, Ida is cursed, but thankfully, Luz found out how to do light magic by drawing on pieces of paper and uses it to stop the Owl Beast from destroying the house further. At Bonesborough's annual convention, we learn about the Coven system. We also learn how Ida's sister, Lilith, is trying to capture Ida and get her to join the Emperor's Coven with her. Despite being banned earlier, Luz was eventually allowed to attend Hexside and chose to learn all kinds of magic. Luz decides to attend Hexside's Grom, basically prom for witches. Amity was chosen to be Grom Queen and had to face Prometheus, but Luz decides to take her place. She held her own against the monster, but fears about her mother began to rise. Amity decides to help Luz, and in the process, she reveals, to the audience at least, that she wanted to ask Luz out for Grom. Back in the Owl House, Luz discovers Ida's curse is worsening and decides to go on a school field trip to the Emperor's castle to potentially find a cure for it. As she was sneaking around the castle, Lilith finds her and holds her hostage to get Ida to the castle. Ida and Lilith have a duel. With little options left, Ida uses up all of her magic to free Luz, but unfortunately transforms into the Owl Beast. Lilith captures Ida, and Luz returns to the Owl House, feeling defeated. Determined to redeem herself, Luz and King make their way into the Conformatorium to free Ida, but fail. She gives Luz the portal key to the human realm to return home, just before being sent up to be petrified. Lilith finds Luz and King, and Luz suddenly unleashes her anger towards her, and they all end up in the human realm. Lilith reveals why she cursed Ida, and feels really guilty about it. With no understanding of one another, the three of them return to the demon realm to help free Ida. However, Belos finds them. He sends Lilith and King to Ida to be petrified, while Belos battles Luz, trying to get her to surrender her portal door. She reluctantly agrees, but subsequently blows up the door. Luz rushes in to stop the petrification, and the entire group escapes. Lilith shares the curse with Ida, which causes her to return to normal, but both have little magic left. Back in the castle, Belos sends a member of the Emperor's Coven, the Golden Guard, to spy on the Owl House, as he builds a new portal to the human realm. Back in the Owl House, Lilith shows doubt regarding King's claim to be the King of Demons, and the group head out to the island where Ida found him. Turns out, King was not actually a king of anything, which devastates him. However, they later find the room where he was born. He regains memory of his hatching and a loose idea of his father. On another day, Ida's mom, Gwendolyn, comes over to the Owl House to visit her and help her cure her curse, but fails. However, by the end of the episode, Gwen tells Luz about another human who was trapped in the demon realm before. Determined to find more info, Luz goes to the library and asks Amity to help her find the journal of the first human in the Boiling Isles, Philip Widowbane. Although a mouse ate most of the journal, it was able to show contents from the journal to Luz. Meanwhile, at the castle, Belos asks the Golden Guard to get more palisman for him to consume. At the same time, Luz tries to find a palisman who can accept her, but fails. She tries again, but finds the Golden Guard stealing the palisman for Belos. The two of them fight, but their ship was attacked by a dragon that Kikimora, one of Belos' assistants, sent to get rid of the Golden Guard. Luz finds out that the Golden Guard can't do magic on his own, and the two get along. However, he was still not trustworthy at this moment. He later revealed that his name is Hunter, and he allowed Luz to take the palisman back to Hexside. Afterwards, Ida and King give Luz Palstrom wood to carve her own palisman, and one of the palisman Luz rescued goes to Hunter as it chooses him. After seeing Luz and King plan on reuniting with their families, Ida starts feeling lonely and sulks through town, but then encounters Rain Whispers, a coven head and Ida's ex-partner. Rain and his group were rescuing covenless witches, but they were caught by coven heads, Darius and Eberwolf. Ida and Rain play a mean requiem to stop them, even risking their lives, but Rain lets Ida go after finding out about Luz and King, and he's captured. Afterwards, Ida helps King stream his message across the Isles in hopes to find his father. After a while, Hooty realizes that he needs more importance in an episode for once, and decides to help Luz, King, and Ida. Hooty tries to help King find out more about who he is, help Ida with her curse, and help Luz ask out Amity. His plans backfire initially, but they seem to work out in the end. Ida develops a harpy form, King learns his annoying noises are a superpower, and Luz does end up asking Amity out. At the end of the episode, Hooty eats a letter for King, which will come back later. After finding out about Eclipse Lake, Amity, Ida, and King set out to get Titan's blood. However, Hunter and Kikimora are doing the same thing. They all get into a conflict, but the group and Hunter make their way only to find nothing. But they eventually realize the portal key has Titan blood. Amity and Hunter fight over it. However, Amity reluctantly agrees to give up the key, but she still kept some Titan blood for herself and the Owl House gang to make their door. They eventually did make it, but it only provided a window into the human realm. But it was enough for Luz to learn that a basilisk named V was taking her place in her absence. Luz's mom, Camila, eventually finds out about this too and asks Luz to return home ASAP and never leave her again, just before Luz was pulled from the door and back to the Owl House. After that first attempt at a door, Luz decides to time travel to the era of Philip Woodabane and ask him about making a portal to the human realm and how the Collector was needed to make it. However, Luz finds out that Philip was an asshole, to which Lilith rightfully punches him in the face and they return home. However, little did Luz know that she actually helped the person who would end up becoming Emperor Belos, in which she and Hunter found out after accidentally invading Belos' mind. In addition, they find out that Hunter is a Grimwalker, or a clone of Belos' old friend. Luz and Hunter do escape Belos' mind, but the two will forever be traumatized by it, especially after learning what the Day of Unity is really about. Luz eventually tells Ida and King about the whole thing, but before they can act, Hooty reveals a letter to King about an island filled with people who are supposedly King's family and can potentially be allies. However, when they set out to the island, Luz and Hooty find out these people are Titan trappers and King himself is a Titan. After finding this out, the trappers try to sacrifice King to the Collector, but Luz and Hooty rescue him and return home, telling him what he really is. Meanwhile, Gus finds Hunter in Hexside hiding from the Emperor's Coven guards, who happen to be at the school at that day, to force everyone to join a coven for the Day of Unity. However, thanks to Gus's illusions, the Coven guards leave and Hunter reveals the truth about the Day of Unity to Hexside. After returning from their trip to the Titan Trappers, Luz, King, and Hooty find the Owl House empty, except for a note that tells them to go to the Titan's Knee to find Ida and Lilith. Once they meet up, Luz reveals how King is a Titan. Lilith begins to treat him like a god, making him feel uncomfortable. He meets Steve, a former Emperor's Coven guard, and the two travel around the Boiling Isles, helping various people on the way. This allows King to make peace with who he is, and now has a clear vision of what he wants to be. Meanwhile, Ida is concerned about the Day of Unity, and wants to guarantee Luz and King's safety. Overhearing her plan about sending them away from the Isles, Luz gets angry at Ida for underestimating her. They get into a fight, but get caught by Coven guards. To their surprise, they are taken to Rain and Darius' secret hideout, joined by Lilith, Hooty, King, and Steve. They learn about their rebellion, called Covens Against the Throne, or CATS for short, and that they have a plan against Belos. As the group discusses the plan, Ida encourages Luz to finally start to carve her talisman. One day before the Day of Unity, Ida is branded with the Barred Coven Sigil as part of the Cat's plan to corrupt Belos' draining spell with her curse while disguised as Rain. Meanwhile, Luz and King go to the Blight Manor to save the grounded Blight children with the help of Willow, Gus, and Hunter. Luz happily reunites with Amity, and the two kiss for the first time.
Oh, crikey.
They infiltrate the Blight factory to warn Adalia and Alador and stop production of the Abomatons. However, Adalia reveals that she already knew about the truth behind the Day of Unity, not caring what happens as long as she is rewarded with a life of royalty in the human realm. Alador stands up to his wife upon learning this and destroys the factory, and I assume both of them file a divorce after that. Kikimora captures Hunter during the struggle, but turns out Hunter Luz switched places with Gus' illusions. Luz allows herself to be taken to Belos after learning that he is aware about the sabotage plan. As the Day of Unity commences, the Cats' plan failed due to Belos' precautions. The draining spell activates and everyone's magic begins to drain away. Luz is taken before Belos, who prepares to leave the demon realm through his portal. He agrees to have Luz to be his modern-day guide, but she then brands him with the Coven Sigil to force him to stop the draining spell. Being the stubborn genocidal maniac he is, Belos transforms into his monster form and fights Luz as King, Amity, Willow, Gus, and Hunter arrive to help her. Kikimora tells King that only the Collector can stop the draining spell. Out of options, King frees the being from his prison, promising to be his playmate afterward. The Collector seemingly destroys Belos and then stops the draining spell, like it was nothing to him, only to proceed to reshape the Boiling Isles so he can play with the residents. Again, like as if it was nothing to him. King pushes Luz and her friends through the portal into safety, unknowingly followed by a piece of Bellows. The portal collapses, causing them to be helplessly stuck in the human realm, but hey, at least Luz finally reunites with her mother. But at what cost? Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something new from it. If you did, please give this video the thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this, click on that subscribe button below. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. See you in the next one!